So, Fred, how long have you been hosting students?
On and off, I've been hosting for 8, maybe 10 years now. I
Really?
go back to when Seoul was situated on the same campus as my primary school. And that's how I first became involved, yes.
So, Grenville asked you, did he?
No, it was a very famous lady. So famous I've forgotten her name. But I know where she lived. I'll suddenly blurt out her name. But no, she was actually in the school playground once, and they were bemoaning the fact that they had students arriving without host families, and I said, well, we've got a spare room. Mm-hmm. I forgot to tell my wife till I got home from school to 1 hour to get everything ready. But we've never looked back. It's been a wonderful experience.
What do you enjoy about hosting students?
Strange enough, it makes me appreciate exactly what we've got around here, because we spend time taking our guests out. I mean, we all take for granted things that we see, but you walk along the river and you start to point out things to your guests, whether they're students or teachers, and then you realise how much we do have. Also, you get so much from them. You learn a lot from them. And also, if you do it properly, which every host family, you've got a friend for life. You have contact there all the time. And we're still emailing students that were with us 6 years ago.
So which countries
we've done most of them.
Yeah?
We remember the early days, there were a lot of Bulgarians with us, but Czech Republic, Slovak. We've had Italians. I think Czech Republic's been the main Hungarians we've had. And I think 1 year, Croatians obviously, and I think Macedonian. That's a new one to us. I think last year, 2010 was the first year, and that was an experience.
And what role do you think a host family has in helping the students to learn English?
A very, very important role, because during school they are one of 14 in a group, maybe in class, so their oral contribution is 1/14 of the group. Now, when they're with their host family, they may be with another person. So they are 50% of the conversation, and they could spend more time speaking and learning and listening to English with their host family than they would do in school throughout the whole day. And it's so important that host families realise that hosting is not just feeding bed and breakfast, it is talking and feeding information.
And making friends.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you become a friend. And yes, I do love it when you become younger immediately as a host father. You become younger, and if you're not careful, acting like a teenager all over again.
And there's always a family day on the Sunday.
Yes.
What kind of things do you enjoy doing?
We're an animal family, and obviously in North Devon a lot depends on the weather. But we always go to the sea. On our first evening when the students are here, if they've arrived within reasonable time and it's summer hours, we take them to Westward Ho to see the sunset. So they go to bed, a hard day's travel, but they've got this in their minds. We try to go to the sea. There's so much to see on the way whilst you're there. Also, it's part of walking our animals. They're often not used to dogs being lap dogs. So they sit and talk about their day at home when they have a dog on the lap. And that's so important too. It's alien to them.
And what kind of reactions do the students have to the sea? You know,
I remember we had a lady, she stayed with us because we have no steps, we're in a bungalow, and she had an artificial leg and she couldn't walk, but we got her to Westward Ho and she just stood there and all she said was, "Mein Gott, oh mein Gott, mein Gott." That's all she could say. But we do it so that as we come around the bend, we go the back way to Westward Ho. You come through Abbotsham, there's a place on the crest of the hill where you look through some pine trees and you could look down onto the beach with the surf coming in. And just before we get there, we tell our students or guests, close your eyes. And then I stop at this place and say, right, open them. So the first view of the Atlantic Ocean is this surf coming in, and that all adds to it, you know.
And finally, what do you think of, we've been talking today about integrating the trips with the classroom. What do you think of the idea of integrating some of the host family experiences, the things that the students find out in the host family and doing that in the classroom.
I think that's very important because each family will be unique. Each family has their own hobbies and quirky things and pets and way of working. But also, I think if the students go home and say, tomorrow we're going to, and the host family say, oh yes, I've been there, and blah, and then immediately there's this cohesion between the host family and school, which I pioneered for many years. There's to be no school gate, no barrier. You know, the two should link, host families. And quite often I felt as a host dad, it would have been lovely to go on the trips. That's just a thought for the future.
Well, that's a thought, isn't it?
I mean, we go to the folk evenings now.
Uh-huh.
Much part of that. But there
Well,
have been times when I would have loved to have gone on
Well,
trips.
that's the thought, isn't it? Well, you do a fantastic job, Fred, and lovely hearing you talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.